the enemy's on this, man.
Oh, yeah.
The kingdom of darkness is
Prowling around.
all about screwing this up, bringing the wedges, and we just easily fall into that, being used by him to wound and hurt them, just like our parents,
because
just like their parents.
Most of us are walking around like you and I were for a long time,
disoriented,
with no idea what's really going on.
With God, there is always more. More love, more life, more freedom. Welcome to Zoe's Exploring More with Michael Thompson. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "Our Heavenly Father has provided many delightful inns for us along our journey, but He takes great care to see that we do not mistake any of them for home." Join me and the team as we explore the kingdom together, discovering the deep truths and offering encouragement for the journey. There is always more.
Welcome, friends and allies, to the Exploring More podcast. Michael Thompson here, hanging out with SJ Jennings there.
It's a high energy welcome.
Yeah,
good for you.
I'm
fired up.
Yeah, I am. I'm a little fired up. I think this series, man, Father Matters, and I think we're doing episode 3 of that series today, and yeah, it does fires me up. It's a place I want to do this well, and my kids are in areas of life that they've never been before, so I've never been there.
That's right.
Before as a dad, and we got to start. The other thing that I love is this is a good long day for us. We start at 6:25 in the morning, moving with the online community that signed up for the Father Matters journey, 10-week conversation in
Zoom
in our
call.
West and East circles. And I love those guys. I love that. I love what is happening there. And formation is beginning, kind of meeting at the trailhead this week. And now I
don't know about your group, but my guys just went immediately dove deep into the conversations.
Yeah, we could rabbit trail over that to how just exactly how helpful, how encouraging, how important those spaces are. Even in a Zoom way, it's not quite like being around a fire. I know that's Andy's favorite. Let's get a circle and be around the fire. But those, that's just a really great environment to talk about this and to let men explore it together, talk about it, and see it's a great common denominator. They want a father well.
Yeah, man.
And yet very, very few were.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pioneering endeavor, because most of us are off of our maps, or in some ways don't want to parent how we were parented, and so so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So a couple things I just want to mention. This was really a passage I came across that I really, really like, and just want to kind of get it out there. Andy can throw it on the bottom third or something, but Ephesians 5:1-2 from the Message. Let me read this. Watch what God does, and then do it.
You do it.
Yeah, then you do it. Like children who learn proper behavior from their parents, mostly what God does is love you. Keep company with him and learn a life of love. Observe how Christ loved us. His love was not cautious, but extravagant. He didn't love in order to get something from us, but to give everything of himself to us. Love like that. Mm-hmm. And that is a tall order, bro. It is.
Which part of that? Well, let's take a break, and then when we come back,
dive into it some more.
What part of that is a tall order to you? I'd love to hear what that.
Yeah. So hey, we'll be right back on the Exploring More podcast in just a minute.
Hey, we heard from some of you listeners that you were tired of hearing Shane's story.
I never get tired of hearing that.
I know,
story.
It's a great
the
story.
Flashlight,
We love
the
Shane.
Pelican flashlight.
But man, it's so good. But I think some of our regular listeners might be able to recite that one. So we just wanted to give you a heads up about an event coming up in April called the Heart of a Warrior Encounter, April 16th through the 19th, Rockbridge Young Life Camp in Goshen, Virginia. If you want more information, go to zoe.org/events.
Yeah. There's only 400 seats, and
we're already a quarter of the way sold.
Yeah, it's filling up. And I would just add that it was a series of events, but a significant event like this conference retreat that changed the trajectory of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the couple of men that I went with, friends of mine, are still friends of mine that 20, 25 years later we're still exploring, we're still journeying. And I find that it's not, I wouldn't have known it at the time. I needed it, but I don't know how else to describe it. I didn't know how badly I needed it.
Yeah,
I did not know.
It's like, I remember, man, going to the doctor because my shoulder was bothering me, and she told me, what are you doing to manage the pain? And I'm like, I don't know, taking 6 or 8 ibuprofens a day. And she's like, you're not supposed to live in constant pain.
Right.
You're not supposed to live with some of the things that we carry around.
Yeah.
And, time away, we call it an encounter because it's an encounter with God. That's what we're trying to set up. That's what's really most important about it, is your time that you have unplugged, hopefully, from some day-to-day things so that you can get plugged into the Father. And we just kind of set the table.
Yep. I remember the term sharpening your axe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We just aren't meant to be the 10 men who are just swinging, chores, chopping. If you don't take time, and when was the last time you put on your schedule, I'm going to spend 3 days with God. Yeah, there'll be 399 other guys there, but I'm going to spend.
It's amazing.
I'm going to spend some time away with God, and that's what we structure the encounter events.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is there sharing, teaching, and some other playground and fun things to do, but you're going to get 8, 25, 30-minute quiet times to ponder.
Code of silence,
To ponder, to ask God questions, and to see what he might say.
Shout out to my friend TJ Wallace, too. I mean, this is just not another porn and bacon men's conference, right? I mean, where that's all they talk about. We are really inviting you into a journey and an opportunity for an encounter with God.
Yeah.
So come be with us.
Well, I hope there is bacon.
Yeah, well, bacon's good.
All right.
Yeah, but
hope we'll see you
there.
there.
If you need financial support as well, if you'd love to come but finances are an issue, email my wife. Actually, she's our event coordinator. It's Sherry, SHERRY @zoe.org, and she'll give you information about something we call the aid station. We don't want any man ever to get left behind because of finances. So join us at the encounter, April 16th through the 19th.
Yep. Andy's got some stuff on the lower thirds that will guide you there. Hope to see you. Welcome back to the Exploring More podcast, where I dropped Ephesians 5:1-2 from the Message. Let me do it again. Watch what God does, and then you do it. Like children who learn proper behavior from their parents, mostly what God does is love you, keep company with him, and learn a life of love. Observe how Christ loved us. His love was not cautious, but extravagant. He didn't love in order to get something from us, but to give everything of himself to us. Love like that. So I'm dropping that passage into a series on fatherhood.
Yeah.
Father matters. Why? Read my mind.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, man.
Why would that be a significant passage, you think?
Well, because it describes the love of a father who is loving unconditionally.
Yeah.
And so, that is a lofty goal, like you said.
Most of us weren't loved that way, or we didn't interpret love that way. I think this is a father verse about fatherhood for us, because it's talking about being loved first. Be loved. Mm-hmm. Mostly what God's up to is loving you. Let him.
Yeah.
See it that way.
Right.
Engage that way. Be a beloved son first.
I mean, that's the challenge, man. You know, we're told, often with a chest poke on Father's Day, right, at church or whatnot, to love sacrificially.
Yeah.
And rarely is the attention given to why it is hard for us to love that way. And why it is hard for us to believe that mostly what God is doing is loving us. I mean, very, very infrequently in that context is what is it talked about, like what's in the way of me being able to love like that.
Yeah. And you can study these things. This is a great passage. You can go to the 2 Corinthians 13. You can read about love. You can memorize the fruit of the Spirit, right? And I say that not that those things aren't important, right? There is a golf swing. There's a great golf swing. You can read about it. Mm-hmm. You can watch Tiger or whoever you want to watch and their swing. But you can't become that without practice and training and really not just from some videos and you go out on the driving range.
Right.
You really need somebody who knows how to do that, can teach you how to do that, so you can go do that.
Right.
And that's what this passage is about.
Because you can go out on the driving range and hit 1,000 golf balls.
Keep hitting them.
And just keep hitting them wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Slice after slice, if you're me, slice after slice after slice, right? Until someone is watching you in a productive, loving way to say, okay,
Yep.
I've watched enough of what you're doing to say, here's an adjustment.
And you have to then feel some of those adjustments. Like you're going to do that every time because you're lowering your shoulder and you're coming steep and ball's going to fly. As if I know what I'm talking about. But
it sounded good.
Yeah,
I believed you for a second.
I know a little bit, just enough to say that. But I think this is the part of Father Matters. This particular episode is about some of the mistakes. Falling from the pedestal is the title of this one, in this part of the journey that the guys are on the West and Eastern circles. And I think about my own story, and when I came to I saw that my children love me because they're my children and they love their dad, and yet I didn't have their trust, which is very, very. It just puts a ceiling on your ability to parent, to relate to them.
Yeah, you can't love somebody you don't trust. I mean,
or
you've been out of duty for a while, but up to a certain point.
Yes. So I remember a Father's Day some years ago when the cards came in, and they were really kind and nice, and they said wonderful things.
World's greatest dad.
Yeah. But I just knew, SJ, that it isn't true. It isn't true. Not like I want it to be.
Right.
It isn't true. And I could feel the regret from the anger, the regret from the control, the regret from telling them, you better or else. I mean, threatening. Yeah. Right. And all of that.
What was if I can just hone in on that for a second, what was the wake up call that puts you in a observation, a position where you could observe your own behavior and say, whoa, that's not good. Right. I mean, was it the years of going to conferences and getting your own heart back?
Some of that was, great question, because I think it was in pieces and parts, waking up to the reality of the correlation between how you're parented, how the authority figures, your mom, your dad, how they did, what they did to you, and the projection of that onto God, this authority figure. That was part of it. That was a piece. I think another piece was, I got to look more and was invited to look at some of my own father and mother wounds in my story. But even when they were talking about that, and I didn't need a hard sell. It made sense to me. So I was willing.
That there are
Yes.
father and mother wounds?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was like,
Yeah.
and I think there are guys like, wait a minute, my dad, he came home, he provided, but I think for me, I began to be invited to explore some of the deeper files in my heart in my formative years, particularly. And yeah, that was my normal. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. But when I really started to explore that more with some counseling, with some of these retreats, here I am listening to the invitation to even consider this. And my heart went pretty quickly to, wait, I'm a dad.
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that came really quickly in the conversations of the role of a father. I do believe that, there's mother wounds for sure as well, but I can't tell you how many guys, including myself, that that's actually a double whammy. If there's mother wounds and it's on a father's watch, then he's not doing anything about that.
Yeah.
And a mother, to some degree, could also be protective and be an advocate for children who are being really hurt by a certain type of fathering style.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they don't have, I think, quite the ability as a mom to, if it's really bad, obviously, get out of there.
Right.
Get the kids and get out of there. And that's very hard. It's very hard.
It is very hard
to do.
But I think
social
more
circles.
often it's probably more subtle than that. Like I remember Stephen and Sherry, my wife, being really, really close to each other. And as he entered into, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, preteen, and then even into teenage years, it seemed like when there was something he needed to talk to someone about that was maybe a little hard or challenging, or something happened at school, he always went to her. And I was like, why? Why doesn't he come talk to me? Kind of with that energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro.
That's why.
And
Yeah.
I just didn't have eyes to see it then.
I know. So this is a multifaceted, multiple ingredients to your question to get towards some resolve and restitution, even redemption in my fatherhood. I had to see it first.
Yeah.
And I had to be aware, and they, my three, they were giving me some of those kind of clues.
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned. Why don't they want to talk to me about that? Or why, when I ask questions, do they not?
They kind of shut down or
Yeah,
give me one-word
engaged.
answers. Yeah.
Well, because, yeah.
You trained them.
Yeah, I trained them that, it's just a matter of time before I start lecturing you on what you should and shouldn't do.
Or
and
feel
why
or
you
not
should,
feel.
And so, why do they want to feel crappy with a lecture from the driver in the car, the driver's seat, or, the guy across from them at the restaurant, or, all of that stuff. It's just a very wonderful and beautifully complicated piece, of which, and we don't have time to go in, but the enemy's on this, man.
Oh, yeah.
The kingdom of darkness is
Prowling around.
all about screwing this up, bringing the wedges, and we just easily fall into that, being used by him to wound and hurt them, just like our parents,
because
just like their parents.
Most of us are walking around like you and I were for a long time,
disoriented,
with no idea what's really going on. So it brings me to another point. Like, I think in order to get to the place where you can even consider what it is that you're doing to your kids or have done to your kids, you really have to go through the process of unraveling what happened to you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that through this series, that's kind of one of the staples that before we talk about your fatherhood, let's talk about you.
Yeah.
And what happened to you.
How you were fathered.
And can you allow God the Father to father you? as a man, to help you recover from the things you didn't get, to help you recover from some of the things you did get, and to bring that kind of healing that actually your kids need a dad who's more wholehearted,
right,
more healed,
right,
more empathetic, more understanding, more compassionate, strong and kind. That's what we're after.
And it's interesting too, as you grow in that way and learn kind of how to walk that way more and more, it changes your perspective. It inevitably changes your perspective of your relationship with God. Like my journey of healing that then led me into a space of seeking redemption with my children, and what I had done to them as a disoriented man.
Yeah.
Going through all of that process, it just deepened my intimacy and my relationship with God along the way.
Yeah.
And the deepening of my relationship helped me deepen my interpersonal relationships.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I love that. I agree.
Yeah.
I experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
That it wasn't.
It's not linear.
And it wasn't sectional.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's just
not
all
like get your heart back, then go talk to your kids, then you get deeper with God.
It may be in the context. It may be in the context of your fatherhood that God can get your attention and be able to work in ways that are really powerful and significant.
Right.
So I think the realities, I just want to hit these for the series. Reality number one, we can't father well apart from being fathered.
Yeah.
Right? God, according to this verse, Ephesians 5, he is actively pursuing us as a father. So that was one of the things I had to see, that my perspective of God the Father, he was pretty mad.
It was skewed.
And punitive, no doubt. He'll get you.
Yep.
And I learned that little, right?
Yeah, mine was like, he doesn't really care about me, doesn't want to spend much time with me. He's kind of over there somewhere.
Yeah. Distant, but running things
around.
But and you probably don't want to cross him, or don't want to.
Man.
If you got his attention,
and that was
probably wouldn't be good.
That was a lot of what my relationship with my dad was like.
Right. Yeah.
So interesting.
So that's a big reality. Another one is, that I was talking about fathering. It's relational, and the connection that we're after. One of the guys said in one of our earlier weekly circles said something about connection before correction, and I thought that's good. I said I got three more: connection before whatever, before connection before advice, connection before play.
Yeah. Intimacy.
Connection.
Knowing and being known.
And being in a position to just continue to work for that connection, and engaging in an intentionality of from me to them, especially when there isn't a crisis or a drama.
Right? Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Which is, depending on the age of your children, could be rare. But what just popped into my head was a movie with Mel Gibson called What Women Want.
Oh, where he remembers he can
hear
their thoughts.
What women are thinking.
Yeah, hears their thoughts.
It's the interaction between him and his daughter is so interesting in that film, because
we got to go. I got to look at that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, man.
I forgot about that part, but yeah.
Because I know you think of it as there's a lot of it where he's dating women, and I think it's not Meg Ryan. It's oh gosh, who was the woman in the Twister movies?
Yeah, I'll think of it.
Yeah. Anyway, but a huge part of the film is his estrangement from his daughter, and even as he gains this power, and he invades her space and says, "Hey, you want to go get some pizza or whatever?" And I mean, her thoughts move to, what is he gross? Why does he want to spend time with me now? I mean, it's just really, really interesting and sobering.
Yeah.
So,
Helen Hunt.
Thank you.
That's right. Thanks, Andy. So yeah, this idea, this reality that it's relational, and relationships take maintenance, relationships take engagement, relationships. So in that case, why do you want to connect with me now? Or you want to, and she's thinking it, right? She wouldn't say it.
She's not saying it.
But he's
no.
getting to really get that intel, as to, that's, you haven't been engaged for years. You want,
right.
You want to now, and expect, and I have to comply, and that's tricky. And so, that's a great example of an illustration where a father has fallen from his pedestal.
Right.
Right. That is back to your earlier question, the being given the opportunity to see some of this through the lenses that we're talking about. And as I started to look at my fatherhood and my own dad, I thought, this is where I realized, somewhere between when they're 4 and 5 and 14 and 15, a lot of things are happening in their lives that decade. And my ability to protect, my ability to be safe, my ability to be trustworthy, I just had given away pieces of that along the way through multiple moments to where it was bankrupt.
Right.
And like I said, I think they love me as their dad. This is the one they got. And yet I'm not sure I can talk to him or want to talk to him because of the how I trained him, the track record,
Absolutely.
And so all of that is at stake. And how do we reclaim some of that when, we didn't know what we were doing, felt even justified by some of the ways and some of the things that we did and how we treated them.
Yeah.
So, I think we've talked about this a lot. Here's probably the easiest way to describe why we fall from the pedestal. And in 2 words, false self.
Yeah, the false self, for sure.
The false self. If the false self is running the show most of the time, and that's running things, typically the operating system is being ran by the false self with core wounds and hurts, all nevers, all always. I mean, we don't have time to get all into.
Yeah.
But
suffice it to say, the false self is the personality, the creature, the
thing,
who you are from a very young age that was developed. Some of it was put on you, some of it you adopted, but ultimately it's who you became to arrange for love and security and being seen and all of that.
And now your kids come along.
Yeah. And they're subject to it.
And they're subject to it. And most of us demanded, if not their love, right? We demanded their obedience.
Right. Behavior.
And their respect.
Yeah.
And no, I mean, I think anybody listening would go, that I can just feel the yuckiness of that.
Oh man. Well,
and
a lot of guys that are watching and listening probably experienced.
And so that's why I say it's earned and it's maintained. It's fragile. And so
whether it's healthy or unhealthy, right?
And it's not a matter. It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if you wound them or if you hurt them.
Yeah.
Or if you miss them. Some of it's that I acted or I reacted poorly out of anger, frustration. I mean, I can remember I had this thing in me, SJ, when one of them would get hurt, or especially hurt one another, this Hulk thing came on me. I was so mad that they were hurt on my watch in the garage.
I couldn't protect them.
But I couldn't have articulated that then.
No. I
was just mad. Well, when a little one sees that, what in the world are you going to interpret? How are you going to interpret that when you're 6?
Yeah, man.
Dad's mad at me.
For getting hurt. Yeah.
And
Amen.
so, to your point, as they get older and they get hurt,
Yeah.
if I missed them when they were 6,
They're going to hide it.
I'm not going to get that chance at 16.
That's right.
Or 14 or 11 or 12 because I didn't handle their hearts well. And going back to what we started, and of course, if your heart wasn't handled well,
Yeah.
it's going to have a translation into then how you father and how you don't father.
So what's so great, and maybe we can land the plane with this part, dude. What's so great about seeing it, being able to see it, because there was a time where I didn't see, how my behavior was harmful in any way, shape, or form. I wish, in some respects, there had been cell phones back there. Sherry could have recorded me, talking to Stephen through gritted teeth. But when you start to become aware of this and get some more healing, there's an opportunity to try to redeem some of it, right? And it starts with an apology. And, we're not talking about apology in the sense of, sit your kid down. Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, if I've hurt you in any way, if I've ever done anything that was harmful to you, I'm really sorry. And I might have apologized like that in my lifetime. That's not really an apology.
No, that's pretty sucky.
Yeah. Okay. So then what would you have to say? I mean, if you're in a position as a dad, and I still get myself into this position, by the way, even having been on the journey for a bit and learned some things, there's still opportunities for me to mend relationship, own mistakes, and apologize.
Yeah. So with that example, I think listeners could swing to something better, or initially I would say, the general apology for whatever I did is really a confession. I'm really not in tune with what I did. But the cry of the heart is, but I want us to be okay. I mean, I get that apology.
Yeah.
But you're really not owning anything.
Right. If you don't know what you did.
No.
Yeah.
And so you're probably going to make things worse by that kind of apology versus and I found with my kids that they remember stuff a little differently than I do.
Oh yeah.
They remember moments that I didn't know that I did that, and I actually remember sometimes when I did not father well, but they don't remember that.
Interesting.
It's so interesting. So it's not about hunting for the overall accuracy. I think it's about paying attention.
Yeah.
And letting it come to you, because when you start to see it and be willing to see it and want to see it for repair, for acknowledgement, for ownership, I think God works with you on this. And will bring you
absolutely
the opportunity to see some of these things.
I think what you just said is really important, for repair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for a long time, I would apologize for things to get off the hook. Or will you stop being mad at me if I apologize?
Yeah.
Can I get out of the doghouse with my wife if I apologize to her? And that's kind of a cliche, right? Hey, honey, I'm so sorry. Do you even know what you're apologizing for? No, not really. But, I mean, it's kind of
but I can
almost
feel
a
it
joke in our culture.
Right.
But there's an important lesson in that, I think. We have to know what it is that we did.
Yeah.
Even if it seems, this has been a challenge for me over the years, even if it seems like, well, you should know that my heart is not to hurt you that way, and so why aren't you giving me the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
Not good. Don't do that.
Another. You know, you started well.
Watch a guy go over the falls.
You started well and finished with it's about you.
That's huge.
And when what we're for repair, we're really wanting to know about them.
Right.
And owning that there was some behavior on my part or lack thereof of that either hurt them or just as powerful sometimes is missed them, and how hurtful that is. So, you know, it's something silly, but if these, you know, our pocket computers, these cell phones, you know, I mean, I can be engaging or talking to anybody, and it just gives me a little vibration, a little buzz, and I just lose eye contact. You know, and come back, and there's somebody looking at me like, really, dude? You know,
I was just bearing my soul to you.
So when it's your kids, right, and you're even, whatever you're talking about, I mean, engagement is going to be really critical to this idea of making amends.
Yeah.
You know, dropping in and trying to check a box, that's not what we're advocating.
No.
Because codependency does feel that way. I'm going to be okay if you're okay with me. Are we okay? Are you? Because I'm really sorry.
I'm okay if you're okay.
I'm really sorry for whatever I did. So, you know, if you're going to go down this path of amends and repair and an apology, especially for past things, then you're probably going to have to talk to them about past things.
Yeah.
And this is a really, really bold question, and I don't suggest asking this question until you're really ready.
Ready to hear what they might
whatever they might
share.
say.
Yeah.
And so, you know, with older kids, I think as a dad, you can, you know, ask the question. I wouldn't do it over the phone. You know, but I think, hey, use this podcast series. Use King Me. Use something. Have a reason. Say, hey, I was listening to these guys talk about something about fatherhood, and they brought up the question that most dads are reluctant to ask. What was it like having me as a dad?
Yeah, and that's one.
That's a big one.
The image that just came to my mind is, you know, you don't want to yell that question from across a chasm. So if your kids are on one side and you're on the other, and you've burned the bridge between you, or they have, you might need to do some bridge building before you get into that.
And you may literally, back to your example, you may have to overcome. Oh, you want to spend time with me now? Yeah. You want to ask that now?
To push through that.
And when that comes up, that then becomes the question. Tell me about that. Gosh, I hear it in your voice.
I want to own that.
I bet I'm sure I did some things. Tell me more about the misses.
Man, that's such a great statement to exercise self-control, because everything within me, even in that little bit of role playing right there, wants to say, I'm so sorry. Tell me more. No, you got to wait. You got to earn the right to to apologize and ask for forgiveness, right? So tell me more. That sounds awful. I can hear it in your voice. Tell me more.
The thing, SJ, about falling from the pedestal, and every father will, to some degree, every father will wound, because the enemy's that good at it. At using you. And it can be so circumstantial, right?
And if you're still wounded and operating on them, you can't not wound people.
But we've said this, so just to continue to lay a pretty broad landing pad for this, that what are the odds you've interpreted your life accurately?
Right.
Well, your kids have the same. What are the odds they've interpreted their lives accurately?
Right.
And yet there's some things they've interpreted, about your behavior, about your way as a man, as a dad, how you treated mom, and I mean, there's a lot, divorce, affairs,
Right.
Financial crisis. I mean, as men, we have
Emotional abuse,
there's a lot of things,
codependency.
and how does that
yes.
trickle down? How does
Right.
that go
How's that
downstream to
interpreted?
them?
Misinterpreted.
And of course.
Yeah.
And so that's why I mean, it's not a matter of if you've hurt or wounded them. The enemy's going to make sure, because this is the beautiful. If there's a beautiful category and role and place to be as a father, then the enemy's going to try to corrupt what is so good and beautiful.
That's right.
And so that's where you're operating in this. And so to get engaged in recovering ground that you might not even know you forfeited in their lives, this is pretty weighty matter.
Yeah.
So so before you even ask that question, what it was like, or hey, even if you remember this, if you remember something that you want to bring up, I've had some of the best conversations with my kids, but they weren't fun.
Right.
But they were some of the best conversations when they were willing to share some of those things. So
how they experienced you.
So
so
being able to be, what would I say, SJ? Being able to be mindful, engaging, paying attention to when God might bring you some of those moments, and then step in, and tell me some more about that, And I mean, you could be driving to the grocery store with one of them, little or older, and they're talking about memories, or you say something about you remember, and oh yeah, I remember that one time, Dad, when we were going to, and you got so mad at that guy who took the parking spot. You were so mad.
I couldn't believe it. You were so mad. Yeah.
There it is.
No doubt.
I mean, and do you have the eyes to see that? Versus, well, you know how I am when I drive. Or you think I'm bad. Mom, you ever driven with Mom?
Or you should have seen my dad.
No, this is that moment, like that. If you're willing, say, yeah, I think I remember that. Tell me more about that. And how did that
help me remember?
How did that affect you? Well, I didn't want to go to the grocery store with you for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Really? Man, I'm so sorry. That had to have been hard to see your dad get all crazy over a parking spot. Mm-hmm. That was not a good day, man. I'm sorry. Right?
It sounds so silly, but we've all had them. All had them. Yeah.
I mean, there's bomb craters all over the place. We don't bomb went off there somewhere sometime. Mm-hmm. But I think mostly that, when we offer our kids our tiredness, our frustration, something's happening in our lives, and it's just easy to take it out on someone, who they push they don't want to eat the green beans, right? I mean, the threats we've made and all of that. So I want to go back to some of these fundamental questions that we're asking. Right. And we'll talk about this in the next episode some more too. But do you see me? Do you love what you see? Do you want to be with me? Those are the questions that our kids have been asking us as dads their whole lives.
Yeah.
They still actually have those questions, even if they're not asking you.
You know how I know?
Because
because I still have those questions.
And yet I'm not asking. I've learned to not ask certain people.
That's right.
Because I have felt their answers in my story. And so I'll ask somebody else. I'll take my core questions, to someone or something else.
Yeah.
And so as a
when
dad,
really what we should be doing is taking it to God.
To God.
Yeah.
Yes. And we still have an incredible opportunity with even our adult kids to be God-like. Mm-hmm. As masculine image bearers who are their father, to get in this game and start to bring repair and an amends, but we have to be able to get out of our seat and sit with them and see what they saw.
That's right.
And
Perspective
why
taking.
they interpreted it the way they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, those are, man, it takes a bit of sleuthing. It takes a bit of engagement and paying attention long before you get to the apology, right? That what you just described in earlier in the episode, such a lazy thing. And I get you're trying, but that's not the kind of effort we're after in terms of acknowledgement, owning it, even relating to them with it. I bet you that there's no way that was good, man. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I did that. Man, I wish I could do that over. And then that's it. Don't put
no
on
buts.
And don't put on there, would you forgive me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't put that pressure on them right then. No, you're not seeking forgiveness. You're trying to offer ownership of mistakes made.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if
It's a huge one.
and if they're willing, right? It may be that awkward silence for a moment because they've never heard you apologize, or not without rationalization or justification of, well, that was about the time, your mom and I were splitting up, or that was about the time, I lost my job, or that was about. That doesn't make it better.
Right.
That doesn't explain the pain.
Right. Well, we got to come down to a abrupt landing, I think, because we could just keep going.
We are going to keep. Yeah,
we are going to keep going in the next episode. We'll talk a little bit more in the next episode about fighting for their hearts and what that looks like. But this has been really good, man.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I've enjoyed it. If you wanted more information about upcoming events for Zoe, go to zoe.org/events. Heart of a Warrior's coming up in April. We'd love to see you there. Zoe is a crowd-funded organization, and so if you're interested in joining that crowd and financially supporting us, go to zoe.org/give. And we'll see you on the next.
Yep. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next time on the Exploring More podcast.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Exploring More. The landing page for this podcast is zoe.org/podcast. That's ZOWEH.org/podcast, where you can find the show notes and various platforms to which we broadcast. You can also find us and the Life of More by visiting Zoe on YouVersion Bible app, Right Now Media, our Facebook page, and Zoe on Instagram and Twitter. Remember, with God there is always more, and you were made for more.